Check, check. Welcome again to, well, I shouldn't say Wickerson Studios. I'll just say Michael Wickerson because here I am off at work. Up in the office, a different location, which I might actually broadcast a few of these videos for the rest of the semester. What I'm dealing with is Revit 2021, and dealing with Rhino inside and Grasshopper within inside that. And then, of course, hopefully with that active, I can draw upon some of these Revit tools, start using them a little more directly in Grasshopper so I can affect the geometries in the Revit window through the Rhino. And I'm running GHPYTHON scripts because I'm connecting this to the series and the project I'm doing to translate pretty much the text and apply the text out of this text, GHPYTHON, and I've said this several times on my videos, computational computer-aided geometric design. And the writing's in Chinese, and I don't read Chinese. Maybe one day I'll learn it, and this will be the means to do that. But I've written some very simple scripts. And this script here, which is so simple, and nobody can own it, I am going to hashtag out, comment out this line, oops, I could comment them all out. Actually, I think I comment them out with triple quotes. Comment out that line all the way through to this line. And you can see the script itself is pretty simple. It is ISO curve UV is then set to the Rhino script function of extract ISO curves. And you'll need a surface, you'll need directions, and direction to evaluate. And then you will simply take the ISO curve UV out, so you don't actually need these two up here because I'm not using them in the script. You only need this 2 lines of script. And why I put this in at the bottom was so you can actually see what's being called upon. So as you type in functions in Rhino script, hit your parentheses, and immediately you're going to get hit with what is the needed, what is necessary. Now there's no point cutting and pasting this in as comment because it's right here. So help on function, extract ISO curve and module Rhino script surface, extract curves from surface ID. You'll need a parameter and you'll need a direction. Extract some isoparametric curves from the surface and the parameters of the surface, GUID identifier, identified on the surface, which means I've inputted in a surface and set the type hint in my GHPython node to surface. And then I brought in UMV, but really all I need is direction to, I need my UMV set. And the one trick in here is you will have to go into your surface when you've brought it in to your when you've brought it into your Rhino window, you will have to reparameterize it here by right-clicking. Otherwise, you won't get a 0 to 1, 0, 1 in the UV, and then things start to screw up and move just off to the side. So you've got to reparameterize that. That said, I set the other twos to float, so I could get a 0.5 to 0.5 if I wanted to find the middle area and get these positioned directly in the center, which is fine as well. And then my direction to evaluate is where I made it interesting. Instead of typing in or hard coding 0, 1, 2, because it tells you in this script right here as you write it, I have to type it in again, that 0 is in regards to the U direction, 1 is in regards to the V, and 2 will do both. So I thought I'd add from the script in the book direction to evaluate into the script right here, and that gives me parametric control on that as well. I did a little bit of post production, so we'll just close out the Python so we can take a look at the Grasshopper a little better. Why is it not running now? What have I done? Oh, I obviously hashtag this off, and that's not completed. So this should run fine, and there we go. Everything's running perfectly. Close it out, and we are able to have a surface that is not only, keep in mind, don't let this throw you at the start. These two surfaces that I've actually imported from Revit, I've chosen 2 of them. The middle one, I believe, and the second floor and the third floor to bring in as graphic elements using the Revit nodes. And that's just a nice way to begin to deal with your params, not uncommon to anybody dealing with plugins or learning new plugins. So that's there just to make it interesting. I don't really have to show those 2, and I could take them off, preview off. However, I think I have them running up here as well. Yes, I do. I have them running in a past script, so that's why they're still there. So take the preview off, and now we're really down to not needing Revit. You don't need to see it in Rhino and import Revit into Rhino, but it's a good way to get things centered and up to scale and know where you want to play. So you're looking at all these different windows, you're thinking in all different ways, and what I have is the U line. If I take a look at it here, I believe, let me take that off. Oh, I'm not running that script right now because I hashtagged that off, so it's not going to run the UV right now. I can bring that back on, but I basically have this means of sliding the direction evaluate from 0 being U, and there it is, and 1 being V, and 2 being U and V. And of course, all I did was pipe it, and just to give me a little bit of play on this geometry. And now I'm looking at a Revit window that I actually have pretty cool parametric control. And one thing I want to do is just edit this slider up to maybe 3 decimal places, and I'll do the same for the other one. Edit, bring that one up to 3 decimal places. And now I can do a kind of 3-dimensional, multi-dimensional slider in my Revit window by sliding around my parameters in the U and V direction to say, okay, what do I want as a piece of architecture in here? And actually, it moves really smooth and beautiful, and almost in a funny way in the Rhino window for those that want to play with form. Another great use of using Python to script. You can see that, and I could always put caps on this as well. Might be interesting to just have this parameter serve into the 0, 1, 2 caps. So if we have it set at 2, and if we have it set at 1, it comes flat, and we have it set at 0, it goes open. So that's just a fun way of interconnecting your scripts. Not a hard script at all. I'm not hardly teaching Python. I'm into the GHPYTHON and the Rhino script syntax. This is one that I think can be converted over to the Rhino Common if you wanted to break it down and know exactly what's happening. And then I would say go into the Rhino development and deal with that on the namespaces and figure out how to do extract isocurve and write it in a longer form. And if you wanted to put that in C# and dig deeper and deeper into this, then that would be totally fine. However, because it's so simple and it does rely on one function, I think that's pretty interesting to play around with this. Keep in mind that I still have this ability from these 2 nodes to bring my forms and present them, preview on, of the surfaces in Rhino, so I get a sense of this crazy tube kind of space. Anyway, that's the video. 7 minutes, pretty short, pretty simple. That's what I'm playing around with. I'm enjoying it. Shift and right mouse click, and you can do the same navigation in your Revit. Anyhow, thanks for watching.